Tonight on KVR News, path of destruction. Fatal tornadoes rip through the South.
Racial controversy in the NBA. See how players and celebrities are reacting.
And remembering history. UT students honoring victims of the Holocaust.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening, you're watching KVR News for Monday, April 28th. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Christopher Adams. Emergency officials are searching for survivors after tornadoes touched down across the South.
That's right, Christopher. At least 14 people were killed in suburban Little Rock after a powerful tornado carved an 80-mile path of destruction. 2 other people were killed in Oklahoma and Kansas. Now, the National Weather Service says 31 tornadoes have been reported since yesterday, and there is widespread damage in several states.
Another round of life-threatening weather struck Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana today. Residents in Valonia, Arkansas are surveying damage for the second time in just 3 years.
Just looking at the damage, this may be one of the strongest that we've seen. And preliminarily, we haven't done any records check, but it looks like this is the largest loss of life that we've seen in one tornado incident since I've been governor.
Meteorologists say the tornado that struck Valonia will likely be rated EF3.
The Storm Prediction Center says more severe weather is expected to hit states in the southeast over the next couple of days as the storm system continues to push east.
The city of Austin may soon purchase homes that have a high risk of flooding in the Onion Creek area. The city initially planned to buy 116 homes, but they could potentially be purchasing 142 more in the Onion Creek 25-year floodplain. That's if City Council approves. Councilmember Mike Martinez says that with the buyout, the city would spend $30 million to purchase the homes. An additional $78 million would be used to buy more than 300 other homes in the 100-year floodplain and in the Williamson Creek area.
Austin had been included on many lists as the best town for businesses and startups. A new development called Think is being created to cater to the new wave of businesses coming to the east side of town. Luke Minadani has the story on how the development will cater to creative industries.
A new development in East Austin called Think East is creating a live-work environment. The 24-acre plan combines homes and studios for creative industries. Robert Summers says he and his partner Richard De Varga wanted to make an affordable creative community for residents and a variety of startups.
Most of the startup in Austin, when you think startup, it's all tech, and we will welcome that, and tech is obviously a part of the creative industries, but there's a much broader umbrella of people from food industry to fashion to all types of creative industries that we want to include at Think East.
The former fuel tank properties east of Airport Boulevard and adjacent to Shady Lane and Govale Park. Developers hope to appeal to the demand for affordable housing in East Austin by setting costs for a home and studio unit at $1,000. Applications for the units will be accepted in the next 6 months. Their entire plan is projected to total $100 million. City demographer Ryan Robinson says Think East is part of East Austin's ongoing rapid change.
I think that East Austin will continue to be very attractive residentially, but I think it will begin to it'll have an increased attractiveness for just a wide variety of, entrepreneurial startups.
Construction on a road accessing the site is set to begin this summer, and the first phase of Think East units will open in 2016. Luke Minadani, KVR News.
UT student government is working on an initiative to increase school spirit and encourage a positive climate here on campus. SG Vice President Taylor Strickland introduced Resolution AR5 last week, which calls for increased branding and signage around campus. That includes flags, stone carvings, banners, and floral arrangements. Strickland says the idea is to bring students on campus together under a united brand.
When you're walking around, unless you're kind of seeing the sky view, you don't see a lot of burnt orange because our roofs are awesome, but we don't see them walking to and from class. So it's not that there's nothing on campus, it's that there's not enough. The more burnt orange, the better.
SG will vote on that resolution tomorrow. Also on the agenda is Resolution AR6 in support of student ID cards meeting state voter ID requirements. The resolution says by not including photo ID cards from institutions of higher education, student populations are marginalized by creating unreasonable demands on student voters. Currently, 7 states allow student ID cards to meet those voter requirements. Getting Texas to join those 7 was one of the platform points of recently elected student body president Corey Rady and Vice President Taylor Strickland. Their chief of staff, Christopher Jordan, says the resolution is likely to gain support in the Texas legislature.
The Student Government Executive Board and the Senate of College Councils sent Governor Rick Perry 2 letters calling for the resignation of UT Regent Wallace Hall. Senate says, quote, "We believe that Regent Hall's conduct and actions have damaged the reputation of the University of Texas and compromised our students' interests to a significant degree. As such, we have no choice but to encourage him to resign from his position on the board immediately. We urge you to seek his removal or force his resignation." Wallace faces criminal charges after disclosing information that is protected by the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. SG Vice President Taylor Strickland said none of the findings have been confirmed, but the executives wanted their voices heard.
NBA players and owners are speaking out against alleged racist comments from Clippers owner Donald Sterling. TMZ released an audio recording last week of racist comments that were attributed to Sterling. The controversy has sparked major outrage from many athletes, owners, and even President Obama. He referred to the comments as, quote, "incredibly offensive racist statements." The NBA will hold a press conference Tuesday to address the investigation.
Today, Texas Hillel united with the UT White Rose Society and Alpha Epsilon Pi in honor of Holocaust Remembrance Day. The group read names of Holocaust victims for 24 hours in the West Mall. Different volunteers read the name of victims from 5 p.m. Sunday to 5 p.m. Monday in 30-minute shifts. The Holocaust claimed the lives of more than 11 million people.
It's been a really amazing opportunity for people to be able to grasp that number 6 million. 6 million is an absolutely abstract concept. It's ungraspable if you think it on its own. But we've read names for 24, or we'll have read names for 24 hours. And to get to the 6 million, it would require 277 days of continuous reading for 24 hours. So that helps make that 6 million a little more of an understandable figure.
Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas called the Holocaust the most heinous crime in modern human history and an embodiment of racism in an unexpected statement Sunday. Nearly 30 years ago, Abbas said that the Holocaust is a Zionist fantasy and a fantastic lie. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement that said Abbas is likely seeking to carry out damage control with these remarks.
Still to come, a UT tradition, how students are arming up to fight off steam.
And trends in Austin, a look at this year's Fashion Week runway. You're watching KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Every last class day of the semester, students celebrate the coming break with the foam sword fight. This year will be different from the rest, with the biannual event occurring on the East Mall lawn instead of the South Mall lawn. UT Events and Entertainment says that major preparation has gone into planning the event in a new area.
There's always differences depending on location. The prime difference between South Mall and East Mall is East Mall is a lot smaller than South Mall. South Mall, you have that huge lawn to work with. So taking size as a constraint, we've minimized and we've set up different safety procedures because of that.
Well, with finals right around the corner, students can often be found hitting the books in the library or staying up late to study. But it's important to remember that students keep their study habits healthy. Manager of UHS Services, Jessica Wagner, says that even during stressful times, it's important to maintain healthy study habits.
Manage your stress. You know, students experience stress here on campus. It's not always a bad thing. There can be good stress, but generally, students who take steps to manage their stress do better academically. So, you know, visiting the Counseling and Mental Health Center, taking a walk, carving out 10 minutes a day to focus on meditating or, playing with your dog or something that's stress relieving for you, you're going to have a better opportunity at thriving academically.
Final exams will start on Wednesday, May 7th and go until Tuesday, May 13th. The University Union's campus and events and entertainment are also lending a helping hand to students preparing for finals. Event coordinator Madeline Rodriguez tells us what students can expect at this year's Chill Fest.
Different departments on campus are going to come and give people tips to help get through finals and de-stress their lives so that they're not overwhelmed as finals come around.
Chill Fest will take place tomorrow afternoon from 12 to 4 at the Shirley Bird Perry Ballroom in the Texas Union.
With all the studying during the last week of the semester, we asked Longhorns on the 40 acres to see how they break from the books to relieve their stress.
I play a lot of video games, and I just sit there and I forget about my work for a good hour, and then I go back to it.
Volleyball is a huge part of my life, so when I get stressed, I just like to get in the gym with some of my teammates, maybe pass a few balls and just that kind of blocks everything out for me.
We'll set up time blocks for while we're studying. So let's say that we start studying at 10. I'll say, well, let's go get coffee at 12. And then that's kind of like our break.
Kind of a technique I've started using is I'll switch up where I'm studying every 2 hours or 3 hours just to kind of make sure I'm in a different spot.
Physical activities, go running, especially on great weather days like this, play some sports, maybe have some fun with some friends, go out to eat somewhere, just something where you can do an activity that takes your mind off all your studying that you've been doing.
Beginning fall 2014, 20 students will have the opportunity to attend the Denius Sam's Gaming Academy, an intense 9-month game development program. Admitted students will receive a tuition waiver and a $10,000 stipend. Program Director Warren Spector says the program is one of a kind.
I play a lot of video games, and I just sit there and I forget about my work for a good hour, and then I go back to it.
Volleyball is a huge part of my life.
App program presented their app ideas to a panel of judges Saturday. Professor Robert Quigley led a friendly competition among classmates where students were tasked to create an iOS iPhone app in just a matter of weeks. Team Code Kite with the app Weather Vane won the highest award, Best Overall App. Weather Vane aims to solve the issue of deciding what to wear in the morning. The app provides outfit suggestions based on the day's weather and allows users to see what others are wearing as well. The team submitted Weather Vane to the App Store.
So
teammates say they couldn't be more excited.
Oh my God, it was one of the happiest days of my life. We worked so hard for so many months. So the fact that the judge recognized the quality of a product, it was just like the best reward ever.
The apps were great, the presentations were awesome. The judges said that they saw huge potential for a lot of the apps and the possibility of these being, commercial successes. But I think mainly they were just impressed that, students, mostly undergrads, are able to do this in such a short period of time.
Well, summer is certainly on its way. When we come back, I will let you know what to expect this week after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. Well, we got a taste of summer these last few days. Yesterday we hit a record-breaking 96, and today we saw a high of 92. Not record-breaking, but still warm enough to have you cranking up that AC. Today should be the hottest day of the week, though, as we are expected to cool back down tonight to average temperatures for this time of the year. Tomorrow will be windy with gusts up to 25 miles per hour and a high in the low 80s. On Wednesday, highs will drop to the mid 70s with lows in the 50s. We will see similar temperatures on Thursday, but it will be a little cooler Thursday night with a low of 50. So if you're heading downtown, you might want a light jacket. Those temperatures will stick around through Friday, and this weekend the sun will be out with highs in the upper 80s, making perfect weather to take a dip in Barton Springs or lay out at Gregory. This week should be beautiful, so if you can make it out to the library for a bit to enjoy the spring weather, live live in the Weather Center, and for the last time signing off, Morgan Williams, KVR News.
All right, thank you, Morgan. Now, baseball and softball took on tough Big 12 competition this week, but only one came out on top.
And find out why the tower will be lit orange on Wednesday. We're talking Longhorn sports after the break.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
I'm College Press Box's Jordan Cannon. The UT Tower will be completely lit burnt orange Tuesday night, and you can thank the Texas men's golf team for that. The Longhorns won the Big 12 championship on Sunday for the second consecutive year. Texas is led by even par performances by junior Brax McCarthy and freshman Gavin Hall. The Texas women's golf team also had a standout performance this weekend. They placed second overall in their Big 12 championship, and sophomore Natalie Karcher ranked second individually. Both teams will return to action in the upcoming NCAA Regional Championship. Sunday was also a big day for Texas softball. Coming off of a 5-1 loss on Friday in the series opener against Oklahoma State, Texas came back strong on Saturday and tied up the series with a 12-1 win. The Longhorns continued that momentum on Sunday, shutting out the Cowgirls 3-0. On top of the win, one Longhorn made Texas softball history. After a disappointing 7th-inning loss to Oklahoma State on Friday, the Longhorns bounced back and won the next 2 games to take the series. Head coach Connie Clark is extremely proud of her team's ability to battle back, especially with some key players missing from the lineup.
That's what I'm most proud of, how we reset. I mean, again, disappointing on Friday, but the game is a game. I don't think we beat ourselves, but it's how we reset and came out and got focused on winning the series, and that's the important thing, especially when you're getting to this time of season, to learn how to do that.
And I think we all, 1 through 19, we had some injuries, and I think 1 through 19 just really pushed through this game and won, so it was nice.
We don't even call our bench players, bench players or non-starters. We actually call them difference makers, and because you know what, there's going to be a time when we have to tap into a difference maker or 2 or 3 or whatever it might be, and that played out well for us this weekend.
And not only did Texas notch a series win against Oklahoma State, Bridget Washington broke the all-time hitting record for the University of Texas.
Yeah, that's exciting for her to break that record. I think she's done a really nice job over the last couple of weeks. I told her of just processing and continuing to not get too anxious up there.
I mean, I'm really honored to be able to do that and come out and get that. I've worked so hard this year, and I know the coaches has been on me a lot about getting that leadoff spot and being consistent. And for me to be able to do that and come out with getting a record out of it is, I couldn't ask for more.
With the Women's College World Series a few weeks away, the Horns are focusing on taking it game by game and finishing the season strong. Jordan Cannon, College Press Box. Texas baseball has dropped to 4th in the Big 12 after an 8-3 loss to Oklahoma State in the series on Sunday. Coming off a 3-0 win on Friday and dropping the lead Saturday with a 1-2 loss, the Horns look to win the deciding game of the series on Sunday. Mark Payton extended his reach base streak to 84 games, and the Texas offense put up 9 hits but left 11 runners on base. Senior pitcher Nathan Thornhill allowed a career-high 7 runs in 3.1 innings and allowed 2 two-run homers. Texas lost 8-3, and their record goes down to 32-12 this season.
Texas baseball had 2 Big 12 series against TCU, Oklahoma State, and failed to win the series. They've kind of struggled recently. What do they need to do to end on a successful note?
Well, first of all, and you can ask head coach Augie Garrido, you have to score runs to win a game. And Texas has been struggling a little bit with the bats offensively, and it's just been in these past 2 series because were on fire at the beginning of the season, and they need to go back to that. Everybody, whether it's laying down bunts, sacrifice flies, or just getting those hits, they need to go back to that strong offense. And the second key here is Nathan Thornhill needs to never pitch a game like he pitched on Sunday ever again. Nathan Thornhill, Texas counted on them as their go-to guy on Sundays, and so when he pulls a stunt like that, 3.1 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, and only 4 strikeouts, you can't win games with stuff like that.
Yeah, Dish Falk Field is usually a pitcher's park, but it looked like home run derby on Sunday.
It was ridiculous.
Thornhill, it's okay. You're a senior like us too. That's okay. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us at the desk. Wendy Reichstein has your entertainment news next. What you got for us, girl?
Celebrities taking to social media to comment on the Clippers controversy and Paul McCartney's farewell performance. All this and more ahead, only on KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. The University Fashion Group hosted the senior fashion show this year titled Spectrum on April 24th. Models strutted down the runway in 120 different designs ranging from sportswear, three-piece collections, evening and bridal. A panel of judges decided on honorable mentions and winners for awards ranging from best of in each category, as well as awards for most marketable collection, best use of material, and more. And after Donald Sterling's racist statements circulated around the media, celebrities voiced their opinion regarding the racist antics. Lil Wayne shared a video on YouTube Friday saying that if he was an LA Clippers player, you wouldn't see him on the court anymore in the uniform, and that an apology wouldn't work for him. Meek Mill went on to his Twitter account to say skin color means nothing. Our souls are no different. Just because you have money don't mean you will be judged different by God. Candlestick Park, former home of the Giants and 49ers in San Francisco, will host Paul McCartney for its farewell show before being demolished. The last time that McCartney played at the venue was in August of 1966, when the Beatles played their final concert as a group. The concert is part of McCartney's Out There tour and will take place on August 14th. And that's all your entertainment news this week. Before I toss back to John and Christopher, I would just like to thank everyone at Texas Student TV and KVR News for the last 4 years. I've learned a lot about this industry as well as myself, made so many friendships, and just learned so many skills that I'm going to take with me. And while I'm very excited about the next chapter of my life, I know my Monday nights will never be quite as fun or exciting. So for the last time, this is your entertainment news, and I'm Wendy Reichstein.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy. Well, it's that time of the show, senior show. We're gonna talk a little bit. It's pretty weird sitting in this spot. You know, didn't think it ever happened. You never think it's going to, but now it's here. The time is here. I saw a sign today, 19 days till graduation. Yes. So first, got to give a shout out to the wonderful, beautiful Kaylee Schneider. Not only have she been an amazing girlfriend the past 2 years, she was an amazing news director, leader, and mentor that helped guide me to help this year as news director. So I really thank you for everything you've done there. I got to thank my dad, first off. I know they're watching in Houston right now. Family and friends, thank you so much for the support. I came to UT for this reason. I knew what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. I came to UT for this reason. TSTV gave me that reason, and this has truly been the best experience of my life. I'm definitely working alongside my best friends, and like Wendy said, Monday nights are not going to be the same. I don't think it's going to hit me just yet. But I think next Monday, well, it's Cinco de Mayo, but next Monday, it's just going to be weird. But I have so much faith in the group that's behind us. I know they're ready. They're going to kill it. They've learned, obviously, from the best. We've taught them everything we know. I know they're going to do a great job. And last but not least, I look forward to working with you guys in the future because I know we're all going to be successful because we did TSTV, and this is a wonderful experience, and I'm just very blessed to have this opportunity.
And the time is finally here. After 3 great years, my time at KVR finally coming to an end. My time has honestly been so wonderful, and I cannot thank TSTV and the news department enough for making my UT experience what it was, and it was just the best experience. To the young'uns taking over next year, never doubt yourself because I know you're all destined for great things, and I do truly mean that. To everyone else in the news department, thank you for putting up with me. I know I've been hard on you guys, but it's truly to make the news department the best it can be and to help you all to become better reporters, and I really hope that has come across. Finally, to my best friend, Jenna Ray Howson, thank you for always being there for me no matter what. I love you so much, and I love everyone here at KVR News. So as my time comes to an end, just know it's not goodbye, it's see you later.
All right, guys.
Good evening and welcome to KVR News. I'm Wendy Reichstein.
I'm John Scott.
I'm Christopher Adams.
I'm Taylor Hampton. And I'm Morgan Williams. Thanks for joining us tonight.
montage. I'm glad I grew out my hair because that was not a good look at all. So, thank you for joining us tonight on KVR News. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Christopher Adams. KVR News will return in the fall, but for news and weather updates throughout the summer, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
And for one last time, stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. From all of us here at KVR News, have a great night.